Welcome, my gaming brothers and sisters, to Annoyed Gamer episode 11, coming to you from the King's Head in Santa Monica, the home of the best British breakfast in Los Angeles, which I will chow down on later. I'm going to let it go cold a little. Why? Because I need to talk to you. I need to answer your questions and deliver a deliciously rampant rant. Anyway, crack on. First question from Twitter. Reese Thomas Elliott asks me, by the way, great Welsh name, asks me, why can't Microsoft crack Japan? Well, I gotta say, if I knew that, I would be selling that secret to Microsoft right now and they would be paying me a shit ton of money. Honestly, I think it's down to brand loyalty. The Japanese consumers are very, very loyal to Sony and Nintendo. I have been for years because that's what they're used to. Those are the systems that they've grown up with. Those are the games that they play. And while Microsoft have made some strides in Japan, they don't have the hardcore lineup. They don't really have a Monster Hunter. They don't have a Pikmin. They really don't have anything that's gonna push the market, their market share as much as Sony and Nintendo actually do. They don't want Gears of War over there. They don't want Fallout. They don't want Skyrim, even though they do sell reasonably well. So that's my answer. That's my theory anyway. Next question comes from Twitter and Mr. Pants on Head, who wants to know about DLC and in particular announcing DLC before a game ships. Is that bad PR because people feel, well, they're not getting the full game? It's a double-edged sword. I can see the positives, and I'll take the positives first. The positives are, quite simply, that your game is getting supported. You buy a game, and yes, you know you're going to have DLC coming down the line. Let's look at Fallout New Vegas. They announced that DLC, and then they released 5 or 6 really good pieces of DLC to support that game. Batman Arkham City, they had some DLC coming out as well. The Darksiders 2 DLC has just hit. So it's a good way to know that the $60 investment that you're making is going to be supported, especially if you love the game, because you do want more. And yes, you know, it's the old school expansion packs and paying $6, $10, whatever it is, $15 for something that's really good later down the line is also an incentive to finish the game and really get good value out of it. So that's the good side. The bad side is, well, you nailed that in the question. I mean, people feel, oh my God, what are they cutting out? Why am I paying $60 for this when I can wait for a Game of Year edition in about 6 months and get all the DLC included? Am I getting less than I'm really, that I really should be having? And this is always a tricky thing to think about, especially if you're talking about a Capcom game. Whenever they announce a new title and then announce the DLC, I'm always wondering, oh, am I actually getting proper DLC, or is this cut from the disc? Or indeed, is it on the disc? And am I going to pay for a 5K download? That, of course, is the dodgy stuff, the nefarious dealings, the stuff we don't like happening to us. But on the whole, I really do like the idea of people sticking the DLC out. DLC is good, it prolongs the game. Announcing it beforehand can be a bit tricky, but at least it builds a little bit of faith. Just don't do what Capcom does. All right, ranty time. Let's talk about online stuff. And in particular, online security. My Guild Wars 2 account got hacked this week. Oh, that made me very happy, following on from Xbox getting hacked, and obviously PSN last year, and my World of Warcraft account getting hacked. And you may say to me, dude, you need to get better online security. Well, I do have pretty good online security. The problem is that Blizzard, Microsoft, Sony, EA with the FIFA bug, and now NCSoft have proven that their security is not up to scratch. And this is not acceptable. It's not acceptable to me. It should not be acceptable to you. We spend a lot of money with these guys. We give them our credit card info, we give them our home address, date of birth, all this other stuff. And if they can't friggin' protect it, they shouldn't be in the multiplayer games business. Now, I know NCSoft is slightly different. They don't ask for your credit card details because there's no subscription fee with Guild Wars 2, which is great. But it's really annoying for me to get up, as I did one day this week, to see that somebody's changed my email address and then submit a request to change my email address back, go into my account, see what's been taken, if anything's been taken. And I'm not the only one. A bunch of other journalists and people in general have been hit this week out of China, out of South America, or out of Russia. NCSoft, sort your friggin' lives out. You really have to improve it. Go with an authentication system. That's what I use for the Old Republic. That's what I now use for World of Warcraft, which means I don't get, touch wood, I don't get hacked, but I don't actually use my Blizzard account much anymore since they stopped doing games I want to play. But again, people need to get up to speed. Microsoft, there's no excuse why you get hacked. PlayStation, there's no excuse why you get hacked. If we're going to give you our credit card info so we can buy the downloadable content, you need to turn around and say, we are going to have the online equivalent of Rottweilers, pit bulls, and a small tactical nuclear weapon to make sure the hackers don't get in. And we're going to have that 24/7, and we're going to update it 24/7. We're going to be on the cutting edge, especially with the next generation of consoles, 720, PS4. They're going to be cloud-based. They're going to be always on. Well, if you want them always online, you've got to sort this security system out, because it's getting beyond a joke, especially Microsoft, when you charge $50 a year for your multiplayer service. Part 2 of my rant, I'm going to talk about something that's pissing a lot of people off, and that's EA closing down servers for the sports games. They've been doing it for years, especially on the PC. You buy a sports game like Madden or FIFA, you can play it for 18 months, 2 years if you're lucky, and they'll shut down the servers online. Now me, I don't really like playing online with other people, as you know, but I know a lot of you do, so it matters. One, it's not right. If I buy a game, I should be able to play it for as long as I want, until perhaps the console goes away. My solution? EA, start releasing the friggin' server code. Especially for 360 and PC, you can release limited server code that allows people to host their own leagues for Madden, for NHL, for FIFA, for Tiger Woods, whatever they want. It's a non-commercial license. It's not an expensive fix for you to do. And guess what? It would make people feel a little bit warmer and a little bit fuzzier towards you, because let's face it, with season passes and all the other shit, the pre-order bonuses and all this crap that we don't get, you really need to start being nice to people. Anyway, that's my rant for this week. I will be back next week with more breakfast, more bacon, more beer. This is Marcus Beer saying follow me on Twitter because I am an whore. And obviously submit a question via the GameTrailers forums, or via Facebook, or annoyedgamer.com, or carrier pigeon, smoke signals, whatever you want. Send me the questions, because without you, this show actually gets very, very dull. Till next week, I'm in the pub. Now it's time for my breakfast. Laters.
See this and other GT shows and game reviews on the GT Originals iOS app, available now on the App Store.